What's up, Titans fans? I want to see you get excited. Show me some hype. Spam Tighten Up down in the comment section right now. I set a goal for this video, and I've been talking to my boss, and they said, Mitch, this YouTube channel needs more comments. So let's get over 125 comments on this video. I don't care if you got to spam Tighten Up 10 times. I want to see Tighten Ups. What's going on? You're watching Titans Today. Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and we're going to be getting into the latest news and rumors going on around this team in terms of we're going to be talking about Robert Woods. I'm going to tell you whether or not I think that the Titans should extend players like Derrick Henry and some of their other top dudes. The first story here that we're going to be breaking down is around Robert Woods, and what's the latest around this wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. Now, it's been an interesting offseason, not only for Woods, but for the Titans. Woods last season was a member of the Los Angeles Rams, gets dealt on over here to the Tennessee Titans, tore his ACL, and was definitely a forgotten name for Los Angeles once they went ahead and got an Odell Beckham Jr. What I hear is this. It says that he can participate in minicamp, and he's got, no doubt, big shoes to fill, whether that be A.J. Brown or, honestly, also Julio Jones, because I get it. Julio didn't step up, and he didn't play well for you last year, but he was expected to. So the fact that both of your top two receivers in this Titans offense was a much different offense when those two guys weren't on the field, now Robert Woods has to be that guy. So you need Woods healthy, and he needs to be acclimated. He needs to have the chemistry down with Ryan Tannehill. Because when I go back and I look at the best versions of Robert Woods, it's when he was able to put in that time. And he's a good player. He's a good athlete, but he's a route runner. And what do route runners need? Chemistry with their quarterbacks. So last season, with the Los Angeles Rams, he had 45 grabs, 556 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Unfortunately, that ACL injury is what stopped him midway through the year, and I personally think this. Woods, to me, has a lot left in the tank. He might not be a top 10 receiver, but I definitely think he's a top 20 receiver. And you're hoping, with your addition of Treylon Burks in the draft, and you're hoping that Ryan Tannehill can still be consistent, and you're hoping that Derrick Henry can be healthy. If all of those things can happen, Robert Woods can be a legit wide receiver that can get to over 1,200 yards, and he can get 10 touchdowns. So I need to know from everyone who's watching right now, how excited are you to see Woods on the field? If a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? I don't know. But what I do want to know is how do you scale this from 1 to 10? How excited are you to see Robert Woods on the field? The next thing that we're going to be talking about is Treylon Burks, because this is official, if you will. Treylon Burks is one of my favorite prospects coming out of the 2022 NFL Draft, wide receiver from Arkansas, and his contract details are a 4-year, $14.36 million deal, and it's fully guaranteed. This was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. I just got to do my job here, and I got to go ahead and cover it. But if we're going to talk about Robert Woods, and if we're going to talk about Woods replacing A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, then I think you also got to talk about Treylon Burks, because he has to be that wide receiver too. When he was on the field last season for the Razorbacks, 66 grabs, 1,104 yards, 11 touchdowns. Some of the best games that I thought he had, I remember sitting there at my buddy's wedding. We were watching Arkansas go up against Alabama, and I was like, you know what? This Treylon Burks kid, man, he's pretty dang good. So whether you like it or not for a rookie, he's got to step up. Is it pressure? Yes. But if you're getting 4 years, $14.36 million guaranteed, I think you should be able to handle the pressure. Now, what really is going to be interesting to me is I viewed Burks as a inside slot receiver more than an outside guy, which is weird to say because he's 6'3", he's 220 pounds, and he's built more like an outside receiver. Can he do both? Absolutely. But what really is going to be interesting for me to see is how well does he get himself acclimated to the NFL? How legit is he going to be as a blocker, which is very important in this Titans offense? And how much do Robert Woods and him step up? And are they a better duo than A.J. Brown and Julio Jones were last season? So are you confident in Treylon Burks? Y for yes, or you can go ahead and type your N for no. I believe in the talent that Burks is, that I do, but you see a lot of times Just because you go out and you get a talented receiver, it doesn't always pan out. I'm going to throw out a name. I'm probably going to get some FUs in the comments, which is fine. But one of the prospects that I thought was a phenomenal athlete, Dorial Green Beckham. Remember him? He was bad, right? Good athlete, never quite panned out. But are you confident in Treylon Burks? Give me that Y for yes, or type that N for no. If people are always wondering, all right, man, you're always making videos for the Titans, whoever it is here at Chat Sports, why should I subscribe? Weekly Titans videos. That way you're staying up to date on your favorite team. If you go and you hang out with some of your buddies, you can talk about the Titans. There's never an awkward silence. Breaking news coverage. If there is something big that goes down, we got you covered. We're interactive. We see the comments. We see what you guys say. It actually goes a lot further into making the type of videos that we do. More subs equals more videos. And it's 100% free. So literally, you got nothing to lose. So I'm trying to get this channel, and producer Jack are trying to get this channel to 4,000 subscribers. We need about 526 more to get that. And once we get there, we're going to keep on chugging along. So please help us get there. Hit that sub button. What we're going to be talking about here on Titans today is some extensions potentially coming. And ESPN, they went ahead, they did an article about updates on potential extensions in the National Football League. They mentioned both Jeffery Simmons and running back Derrick Henry as extension candidates. Report that the Titans have reopened extension talks with Henry, which doesn't surprise me whatsoever. The reason why these two guys are mentioned is because Henry's your face of your offense. Jeffery Simmons is the face of your defense. And last season for Simmons, 54 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, 6 PBUs. This is one of these players that I think can really, truly do it all. And for Tennessee that likes to run different fronts and different sets, he's essentially your quarterback on your defense. This is what ESPN had to say on Derrick Henry in terms of this article. He has 2 years left on his current contract, and running backs typically don't get paid early. But I'm hearing the Titans are at least open to a possible new deal with Henry, as his salaries of $12 million, $15 million cap hit, and $12.5 million, $15.5 million over the next 2 years. The Titans could lessen the 2 cap hits by extending him by a year or 2, and they could build an escape hatches if Henry declines in his 30s. But right now, Henry is still considered the game's top back. I like these ideas, and if you can go out and you can extend them, sure, the money is interesting. The only thing that I'm going to say is wait and see on Henry, which does sound kind of ludicrous to me, but he does have 2 years left on his deal. I want to see what Derrick Henry does this season. Obviously, he's done a lot of phenomenal things for this organization. But last season, even Derrick Henry got injured. And I go back and I look at a lot of these other top contracts that these great running backs get. It's a position that's very demanding on your body. Do I think Henry's the best running back in the league? Yes, I do. I think he is the most important running back to his team. However, he's got 2 years left on his deal. And sure, you can lessen the cap hit, but if, let's say, you give him another 2 years and he just can't quite hold up to being a running back that gets 325 touches, he's not good enough to catch the football. All I'm saying is, personally, before you go out and make a deal like this, I'm going to wait and see how healthy he is this upcoming season. But you know what? You guys can go ahead here and be the GM. How much would you pay Henry per year? So again, he's making 12.5 over the next 2 years. How much would you pay Henry per year? Next topic of discussion here on Titans today is we're going to be talking about wide receiver Kyle Phillips. And Bleacher Report released an article talking about surprise impact rookies in 2022. The name that got listed here for the Titans was Kyle Phillips, drafted in the 5th round, 163rd overall. And I think the biggest reason why this guy ends up making the list is because there are other question marks at the wide receiver position. I like Treylon Burks. I like Robert Woods, but Robert Woods is coming off an injury. Treylon Burks is also a little bit of a question mark, and when you talk about Kyle Phillips, he's a good route runner to me, and he might be able to pair a little bit better with Ryan Tannehill. Here's what Bleacher Report had to say on Phillips. There won't be 22 receivers with better rookie campaigns than Phillips. The UCLA product is strictly a slot receiver, so it's understandable that he has passed on by teams looking for receivers who can play on the outside. With A.J. Brown and Julio Jones gone, there are plenty of targets up for grabs. Treylon Burks is obviously the rookie receiver everyone is watching in Tennessee, but Phillips shouldn't be counted out. And I agree with that. And he's probably not going to be a sexy name, but you know what? Maybe this is the slot route runner in me. These guys are never loved, or maybe they're not respected nearly enough. But I know for a fact if you need a tough first down, if you need a tough grab, it's 3rd and 10, Tannehill can look to him like a safety blanket. Yes, they just went out and got Austin Hooper, but I've watched the tape on Phillips. 59 grabs, 739 yards, 10 touchdowns last season with the Bruins. He can be a significant player. I'm not saying he's going to put up significant numbers. That's a big difference. You can be a rookie, come in, get, let's say, 30 to 35 catches, but if you can pick up some clutch first downs, move the chains in some tough football games, and yes, there are plenty of targets up for grabs, I think that does bring a lot of value here. So will Phillips break out this season? 1 for yes or 0 for no. I don't always like to say rookies can break out because they are rookies. If he gets over 40 catches, that's one hell of a rookie season to me. So 1 for yes or 0 for no. Did you think I was leaving? Nah, I'm hanging out here. But if you made it this far in the video, just know we appreciate you. I'm glad that you guys like the content that we're making here. So if you're still here and you watch to the very, very end, just go ahead and type gang down in the comments.